What's going on, guys? Mono here with a brand new video. Today we're going to talk about Cryptomines and how to enter the game. But first, before we start, guys, as always, please remember I'm not a financial advisor. Every investment you do it on your own, and in the same way you gotta do your own research and only invest what you can afford to lose. And that being said, let's continue with the video. Today I'm going to teach you guys a little chart that I made by myself. There's plenty of YouTubers who created these similar charts to this one that show how much would be the cost to enter and some strategies. But in this case, I think that I decided to create this one because some of them are a little bit overwhelming and maybe a little difficult to comprehend deeply. So I decided to create 12 different options. There is probably more, but these 12 are the ones that I thought that would be the best for different budgets. But first, let's start by seeing what it's inside this sheet. So first we have the eternal price in the top left corner, which updates automatically with this equation, this cell thingy. What it's going to do, it's update automatically the cost of eternal price, and in the same matter the cost for the average price for the contract per worker in eternal. So in this case, 7 days of contract for one worker, it's worth around 0.037 eternal. But first we're going to check this note. Sorry, remember that I do videos as well in Spanish. This note that while creating this sheet, I'm aware that with the amount of eternal used in it, you could mint workers and spaceships instead of buying them from the market. But not everyone is willing to take that risk. That's why I create this chart based off market prices only. So in my case, I've had both good and bad minting sessions. I'm going to leave in the top right corner. You're going to see a video of a really good minting session as well as a really bad one, and I suggest you to check it so you get an idea that how the risks of minting, either it goes very well, it goes regular, or it goes really bad and you end up pretty much wasting money. But for those who don't want to take that risk, that's why I made this chart. Then we have a reminder that the following values in this chart represent the approximately cost of creating a fleet from scratch or from zero, their transaction cost, which is the gas fee, and the operative costs during 14, 21, 28 days, or 2, 3, or 4 weeks. Therefore, assuming that everything remains similar in terms of price, since remember, if the price goes up, the amount of the return on investment that you're going to have, it will be shorter in terms of days. But if the price goes down, your return on investment will take longer in price. You shouldn't require, if everything remains similar in terms of price, you shouldn't require much more than what is reflected here. Lastly, this chart doesn't update automatically the prices of workers, species, and fuel, only eternal and contracts. Therefore, the eternal price of the NFTs and fuel should be updated manually when using this sheet. In other words, the orange colored cells only. So when you're going to do this, guys, please keep in mind that you're going to change these values according to the moment you see the video, since probably eternal price has changed. Probably it went up, or perhaps it went down. I don't know. I hope it went up. I would love to know it went up. And we're going to check, for example, in this case, we have in this column we have the NFT, which is artist spaceship. So you go to here in the spaceship section, we search for rarity 2, and the lowest price is 0.027. In this case, it's somewhere similar. I won't change it because, well, you just change it 0.027, and it's going to update the total price. But in this case, I'm going to leave it just as I set it at for in first instance. Same goes for worker. In this case, you look for 50 mining power workers from rarity 2. So we go into worker section, we look one by one because for me it makes it load faster. You filter by eternal once again, and you're going to see what's the cheapest Oh, seems like they've sold out for now. Let's update real quick. So we filter by Eternal, and there we go, 0.023, 0.025. Okay, price seems accurate. My suggestion is, guys, if you want to, you don't want to overextend your budget, take your time to buy all the spaceships and the workers, because many people are doing the same just as you are. So there's moments where probably you try to buy it, but someone did the transaction before, so you end up just wasting gas money. Or perhaps you could get a better deal by waiting and looking for someone who sells them for cheaper. For example, right now the average, I would say, it's between 0.026 and 25, and this one it's really cheap, but probably it already sold out. But I think that you would be able to get these kind of deals if you take your time. So first, in this chart, we have 4 types of investments. We have for every type of budget which are the ones that I consider the really nice options to start with. First, we have in the gray line, we have the minimum budget or very low, which means a minimum initial investment, a fastest ROI, a higher accumulated cost in contracts in the long term. And the last thing as a con is that these are not suggested for long-term upgrading. Why? Because the contract costs are always the same. It's always $7 per worker. So the more workers you have in one fleet to reach certain planet, the longer it's going to take, or the more expensive it's going to be to do that expedition. So you always want to find a balance between the number of workers you have and how much they cost, because in the end the contract price of how much you're going to pay for it is going to become bigger than what you pay at the beginning for a better mining power worker. That being said, as you can see, we have the orange cells that you're going to change, the contract that you don't, and the fuel. In order to do that, you go to know how much fuel you're going to use. You go with fleets, expedition first, my bad. And in this case, let's say planet 2. So planet 2, it's 43 fuel. You go to fleets once it's created, and you put 43 fuel. You click buy, and you can see that it costs 0.023, which is the same as now. And then you're going to multiply that by the amount of days you're going to work. In this case, it's 7 days, so that's why it's 0.01. But that being said, you can see that in the first minimum budget category, we have 3 initial investments. We have $81, we have $212, and $362. This includes the gas cost for all the transactions and probably the expenditures that you're going to have if you are smart while buying the NFTs. Because I've seen many people that say, oh, I have $90 and I want to join, but I don't know how long it can take me. And people usually answer, well, you, for example, can get a 200 mining power rank C fleet. But the thing is that many people don't include the gas fee. The person who asked first ends up missing money in order to complete their fleet and start playing the game. So here you only have what you own, the first investment that you're going to do from your starting money. And then once you start doing expeditions, you're going to start gaining money, and therefore you are going to reinvest in the game. At the end, with the first fleet, you're going to end up investing $143. Remember, you only invested 81 at first. And from those expeditions, you're going to get an estimated daily earning per expedition of $8 with an 84% chance. Then you're going to take the $8 and it's going to be multiplied by the amount of days. So $8 times 7 and multiplied by 84%, it's 47 with $47 with 51 cents, which brings us to a total estimated return on investment of 21 days. In the second case, remember we invested $212. It's 306 total investment after earning from the expeditions. you're going to get an estimated daily income of $25 with a 78% chance for around $140 a week, and you're going to get back your initial investment in about 15 or 16 days, as long as the eternal price stays the same or goes up. If it goes up, you're going to have a shorter return on investment. Lastly, the planet's 1100 mining power rank C, which was $362, it's going to become $524. You are going to earn $56 a day with a 65% chance, which means around $258 a week, and it will take around 14 days for you to get back all your initial investment, so the $362. In the second category, we have that being explained, we have this short-term budget or low budget, which is for a small initial investment with a fast return on investment, with a high accumulated cost of contracts in the long term. Remember, the more workers we use, the higher the cost is going to be for us. So if we don't earn a lot from those planets, those fixed costs will end up eating our profit. In this case, for me, in my opinion, they are not ideal for long-term upgradings. First, we have a $123 investment for Planet 300 mining power rank C. Remember, the higher the rank, the higher percentage you're going to get. The rank depends only in the spaceships. So depending on the average rank of your spaceships, you're going to get a rank between D, which is mostly rarity 1 spaceships, up to rank S. So D, C, B, A, S. Which requires, in the case of rank S, spaceships from rarity 5, which are really expensive, and we're not going to use those. In this case, we're going to use, for the second one, it's 600 mining power with $232 investment, and the last one, which is Planet 11, is going to be $515 for a total return of 18 days with $12 a day for the 300 mining power, 18 days as well for a return of $25 a day with 140 a week for the 600 one, and the last one with 1100 rank C, you're going to get an estimated return on investment of 20 days. Weekly, you are going to earn around 258, and I know this is getting repetitive, so that's why we're going to start to kind of faster this by just explaining this overall. Then we have the third category, which is the medium-term budget, which is moderated, but for moderated budgets, which requires a medium initial investment. It has a slower return on investment than the green one, than the short-term budget. It has as well lowered cost in the long term for contracts. As I told you, the less workers you have, the less you pay weekly in contracts, and therefore the more profit you earn at the end of the week. And lastly, the best of these fleets they are designed to be upgraded gradually. And what I mean by this is that with these fleets, you can, once you start earning more, you can eventually get them to the high tier. We're going to see this later. You start with 600. I'm sorry, excuse me. We start with 430 for Planet 7, or $1,300 around for Planet 13, and for Planet 21 you pay around $2,100, so $2,100. In terms of return over the investment, for the first one, you're going to be making around $163 for 27 days return on investment, so almost 1 month. I know it's really long, but it will pay off in the long term. For the second one, it's as well 28 days, so $383 weekly, or somewhere around there. And the last one is going to be 25 days, a little bit lower, for $726 somewhere around there. But as you can see, the chance is getting lower, so it's way riskier. Remember that this is just an estimation. It could be more weekly or less weekly depending on your luck. It's all RNG based. And lastly, the higher budget ones, it's the medium long term budget with high initial investment, faster ROI again compared to the orange one, lower cost in the long term, and the fleet's designed to mine the level 30 planet with higher percentage ratio. Initially, we have a fleet that only costs $2,000 and $2,200, which allows you to mine rank planet 30. We have a second one that costs almost 6K that also allows you to mine planet 30, and the last one, it's also the same, but it costs $5,200 almost. But what's the difference between all these three, since they mine the same planet? It's the odds. The first one, even though it's cheaper, you can see it's half the price pretty much of the other ones. Even though it's way cheaper, you can see the success rate, it's only 45%. So it's kind of more risky, but it will mostly depend on your luck. So 45% only, and an estimated weekly earnings of $1,165 and estimated return on investment of 18 days. While the second and the third one, in this case, it's 20 days for a total income weekly of $2,279, 20 days ROI. The third one is $2,149 with an estimated ROI of 19 days. But what's the good thing about these two is that remember that these past two, the 1300 mining power rank B and the 2100 mining power rank B fleets from the orange tier, is that these two can be upgraded into the following fleets. When you start, if for example you want to reinvest more in the game or from what you've been earning, you eventually get to save up enough money, you can transform these two fleets into these two fleets. Only, as you can see, they use pretty much the same components, so you just have to keep getting, you don't have to reinvest everything at once. You can do it one by one. For example, one day you buy one spaceship and the next week you buy 2 workers of 182 mining power, and so on until you finally reach the 4900 mining power with rank B. Why we need so much extra mining power? Because every time you get 50 mining power above the planet's requirements, you get an extra percentage. So by doing this, at the end you're going to get 88% for the rank A fleet, which is more expensive, and 83% for rank B fleet, which is, in this case, the last one is my favorite. It's the one I use. Currently I have one of these fleets and I'm working in the next one with this one. I know this is really small for now, but it will be eventually, if the game goes as well as it's going for now, it's eventually going to turn into a big fleet of 4900 mining power. Lastly, guys, since I want you to have this Google sheet that I made, you're going to use this little step by step. Again, I'm sorry, you probably, if you are familiar with the channel, you already know that I make content in both English and Spanish. You're going to see that this is just me not translating some stuff from some Spanish, but I promise you guys, I made this all by myself. The only thing that I got help with is this equation to get the eternal price. But what you're going to do to get the copy of this Excel is you click on top left in the file button, then you click on make a copy. In this case it's in Spanish, I'm sorry. You click in this will be make a copy, and what it's going to do, you will be automatically redirected to a new tab with the copy of the sheet. It also will be saved permanently in your Google Drive, because if you try to do it in this one, you won't be able to change these orange cells. So that's why you gotta make your own copy. But as always, guys, this will be the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed. I really took quite some time to make this sheet. I know that many people aren't sure about how to join the game. But I really hope this helps you. And if you like the video, if you like the chart, consider subscribing. You can click here, it will take you to the channel. Here you go. Consider dropping a like in this video if it helped you. If you have any suggestions, any questions, anything that I didn't mention in this video, comment down below. I'm always looking at your comments. I'm always answering what you asked me. I really like to interact with you guys. I really appreciate the comments. It's always really encouraging for me to keep making these videos and this type of content. And lastly, if you enjoyed or it was useful for you, consider subscribing for more content about Cryptomines and other crypto games or play to earn. I will be posting more of Cryptomines or Binary X it's one of the most popular in this channel, as well as Wanaka Farm that currently it's not going good, but I hope that it improves and I can bring you guys more videos about it. That being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, my name is Mono and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.